Hi Libra, welcome to your full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus reading for October 28th, 2023. Full moons close out cycles. Lunar eclipse can have this energy lasting up to 6 months to even a year sometimes. So there's that. The direction that this reading is going in is number 3, events, commitment. Number 3 is a creative number, right? It's a magic number. It's creativity. Events, right? So there may be an event that you have to commit to, but it's going to bring in some creativity, maybe through you or including you, but there can be some either creative solutions necessary towards this commitment. You may have to think outside the box. You may have to be a little bit creative in your assessment or in your dealings, or even if you're creating an event, right? It might be creative, but you're still creating the event. And you have to commit to something here. So there is some commitment. And that's the direction the reading is going in, but your focus for the next 2 weeks is the World card. Accomplishment, success, celebration, full circle, the world. This is my graduation card. We're moving up a level with this card. And can also be travel. There may be a minor block to push through in the next 2 weeks. With the World card, sometimes you're in a protective spiritual box while you're kind of cleaning things up and getting ready to move on to the next big cycle that's coming your way. Because the World is the last card in the deck. And it means that you are leveling up, right? You're heading towards a level up. You've finished a big cycle. So something may be ending and you have to commit possibly to something new here. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, things that are being closed out right now, the 8 of Swords. This is the card of feeling like your hands are tied, like you can't affect a solution. And the more that you struggle, the deeper you get stuck in that mire, in that mud. And so this card often asks you to not to put too much emphasis or energy in the struggle, but to wait for the situation to turn around in your favor. This could be finishing up for you though, right? Nice. Very possibly because you have the 9 of Cups, which is the card of a wish fulfillment card. It is a 9, so it's the accumulation of an emotional cycle that you have just gone through. And this could have left you feeling a little bit full, for one. You may have gained some weight as well, because this is Jupiter in Pisces, and Jupiter gives. It gives a lot, right? This is a pretty good card. Really, the only thing that I would say about this card negatively is not to be boastful. Mind the idea of hoarding. But it seems like something that was not in your hands, or that you had no effect or solution, still turned out the way you wanted to, or maybe even better than you wanted it to. Or Jupiter is giving you the go-ahead that you have some effect over the situation now. This is a wish fulfilled. But it's usually after we have faced our fears. Okay? It is the reward for facing your emotional fears. For conquering something on an emotional level, which could have been the feeling that you had no control over a situation. It's a general reading. I'm keeping it general. 7 of Swords is the card of unstable efforts. So whatever you were trying to do Probably fell on deaf ears, probably didn't work out the way you wanted it to. And this is the card of sort of like shoring up your own efforts, right? There's unstable efforts. What's happening here in this card is he's stealing away those 5 swords from the enemy's camp so that he can't be used against him. That's the idea behind this card. I'm not saying that's what you're going to be doing. Sometimes this card will tell you to watch your personal property. I know I got this card when there were bears that were getting into the garbage and causing havoc. So it doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to be anything like that. But, just mind your surroundings and, batten down the hatches and make sure your garbage is, there's a bungee cord on it. It's stuff like that. It doesn't have to be tragic. It doesn't have to be horrible. It doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to be. 7 of Swords. It is open enemies, though. So, but it's mostly unstable efforts. Wheel of Fortune. Again, life is a gamble. So it just talks a little bit more about that instability, the Wheel of Fortune. But there is a change of luck, especially when it's right next to the 9 of Cups. So there is a change of fortune. We'll see what direction that's heading towards. If you are making a commitment to something, that could be the unstable effort, right? Something comes along that you were not expecting, or it could have been something completely different than what you had already envisioned or wanted, but it's still a wish that comes true. And still you think, okay, is it going to stick around? Is this stable? Is this here forever? Life is changeable, and that's just a fact. That nothing stays the same except for love. That's it. So everything changes. And that's what the Wheel of Fortune is telling you. If you're at the bottom of the wheel, you go to the top, right? That's what it is. If you're at the bottom, you go to the top. If you're at the top, you can go to the bottom. But the wheel keeps on turning and cycles continue. And so it will until we are no longer here. The Fool card is the outcome. So these are the things that are closing out. This is you and how you're behaving in them, taking a chance on something, right? And the Wheel of and the Fool, which is taking that leap of faith. So it goes very nicely with these. It's an unstable effort. We're not 100% sure. We're going to take a gamble on it. Life is a gamble. Let me take a leap of faith. Let me give it a try. The Fool is pure potential. The thing is with the Fool is not to over-anticipate something. Yes, be careful. Yes, strategize. That's the 7 of Swords. But even in your strategy, anything can happen, right? The best laid plans, they say. But the Fool is saying, take that step, take that leap of faith, and as you come to the challenge, deal with it then. As you come to the reward, deal with it then. Because no matter what you choose, life is, your scenario will always be challenges and rewards. Life is a gamble. But the thing with the Wheel of Fortune is there's something to learn from it. That's the reward, no matter. Top of the wheel, bottom of the wheel, there's something to learn from it. The Hierophant. Both of these are ruled by, this is actually ruled by Saturn, and this is associated with Taurus. The Hierophant, though, is my no card. So you may get a no answer, or you may have to give a no answer. Or there could be blocks, right, to some things. So you might get partial permission. You may be seeking permission, but you may only get part of it. And you still have to fill out forms or stand in line or ask permission or, go through some sort of initiation, because the Hierophant are large organizations. Any organization, actually, religion, tradition, family, but it's traditional, and so you follow a set of rules. And maybe that's where the instability comes in, because the rules don't allow for this. That's very possible here. All right, let's get more information. We'll see where this is heading. Okay, this is father energy, authority, people in situations of authority, rules, regulations, which kind of go along with the Hierophant. This is 4, this is 5, right? For those of you who are starting a business or are your own boss, something good can happen here. If it's a father figure, maybe a father or a person in authority helps you out and helps you to get that kind of dream scenario, helps you get you out of the muck and the mire. You may be following certain laws or pathways that get you out of this scenario as well. You may be taking charge, becoming your own boss here, or taking charge of situations and moving them in the direction that you want them to go in with the Emperor card. Some people may be dealing with father figures, grandfather figures, and again, people in authority or people who think that they have authority over you. Maybe you wanted to become a father for some people and a wish came true. That's also possible here. But we're looking at commitments and events. So this feels a little less like that. Although you can be committing to being a father. That's also possible. And that is a major cycle. So this can also be marriage in that sense, right? Let's take the leap, let's get married kind of scenario. Even though perhaps things had been unstable, or let's say you wanted to get married, but you wanted to make sure you had things nice and settled first, but life is a gamble, and nothing is settled at this moment, so let's do it anyway, what the heck. It's kind of that scenario, kind of that energy. Yeah, see, Ace of Pentacles. A new path is definitely being offered here. It needs time. It's the seed that you plant now that can become a big money tree later, or it can grow and blossom in time, but it needs nurturing and it needs time. And the Pentacles energy is the most dense, so it needs space, it needs time, it needs nurturing. It's a very nice card. And it can bring you to the top of the wheel with time. Now, in which case you may need some help from bigger organizations, and so you can look to them to ask permissions or get permission or get a loan or that kind of thing with the Hierophant, because that can also be banks. And it's a gamble with the Fool. We don't know, but we're going to take a leap of faith. We just don't know. This is the end of difficult mental situations. Your perspective is really important with this card, because is this a new dawn or is it dusk, right? How do you see it? But the fact of the matter is that there is an end of a cycle, the world, right? And we're moving on to something bigger and better. And you see it here. You have 7, 8, and 9 and 10 towards 2 10s towards the end of a cycle, and then you have the new beginnings with the Ace and the Fool. So there is something new being started here. I think it can be really the end of some very difficult mental situations for you. And you could just be kind of at this moment and in these next 2 weeks looking for some peace, some mental peace. Stop overthinking things. Looking for some mental peace. What does Spirit want you to know? You have the King of Swords here. Law and order and oppression is the negative side of this card. This is my Libra card, so there's discipline involved, authority, right? That's this card, the Emperor. Judgment and weakness, it says on this card. This is my Libra card, so these can be people who are law-minded. They make decisions with facts and figures and not a whole lot of sentimentality. I'm not saying that they can't be sentimental, but that's not usually how they make their decisions. They want facts and figures. Negatively aspected, they can be very difficult people to deal with. They can be oppressors, or but you know, like I said, it's usually facts and figures, and that's why it seems oppressive. It doesn't always have to be. Military, the police, mediators, that's the King of Swords energy. So this may be somebody that you are committing to. You may be taking on this energy of facts and figures to commit to something, right? But you do have the World card there, so there is a level up. And I do see a lot of mental energy here, indeed. Swords are all mental energy. All right? Okay. So this person is going to have sharp features. If this is you, you may or may not. I mean, this is Libra card, so this is your card. Sharp features, there's a refinement to them. They often have like high cheekbones or sharp eyes or a pointy nose, long fingers, that kind of thing. They're long people. Okay. All right, I hope this has been helpful. Thanks for listening. I'll be back in 2 weeks with a new moon reading. Until then, take good care. Bye for now.